So today we're going to be talking about rates and rates compared to different quantities. The things that we use rates for really are like miles per gallon or, well, that's the only one I can think of. I don't know why. But anyway, paychecks. We use that. We get paid per hour, how much we get paid per hour and things like that. So our first example here is $1,680 for 8 weeks worth of pay. So this first one, this is always going to be your numerator, what comes first in a rate, and what comes second will always be your denominator. So the first thing we want to do, if we want to write this as a fraction in the simplest form, is that we would write what comes first, which would be 1680 over the 8 weeks. You must have the units, and what I mean by units is the dollar sign is a unit and the word weeks is a unit. So then we can simplify. We learned that in a few videos ago, is how to simplify. We take out what's in common, and both of these are divisible by 8, so I can divide by 8 over 8, and this becomes $210 in 1 week. You must have the dollar sign, you must have the week. This is what we call a unit rate, and it's a unit rate because the denominator is 1. We can write this as $210 per week is another way we can write it. So we can either write it as a fraction or we can write it in this per. By the way, the word per means to divide, so you're taking $210 and you're dividing it by each week is what it would be there for that one. So the next one, we're talking about 236 miles on 12 gallons of gas or fuel, and we want to write a rate. A rate is comparing these miles to these gallons, so we would write it as a fraction, 236 miles over 12 gallons. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work or not work, but do not automatically assume that you can divide both of these by 12. That does not always work. They do not always end in a unit rate. So this could go down to where it's like so many miles in for 2 gallons of gas, or so many miles for 3 gallons of gas, and that's the simplest form. So I want to simplify here, and I know that this is an even number, that's an even number, so I can know I divide by 2 over 2, and that's going to get me 100, and 2 goes into 3 one time, 118 miles in 6 gallons. And I know that they both have common, they both can be divided by 2 again. And that would be 2 goes into 10, and 2 goes into 11. 5 times, 2 goes into 18, would be 9 times miles over 3 gallons. And can they both be divided by 3? Remember to check that divisibility property. 9 plus 5 would be 14. 14 is not divisible by 3, therefore 59 is not divisible by 3. So this is as small as we can get with this one. That is lowest terms, that is reduced, whatever terminology you want to use for that. So to be a unit rate, it has to have 1 as the denominator. This cannot be a unit rate in the simplest form. We could force it to be a unit rate, but it's not going to be simplest form. I'm going to just move right up here. If I wanted to make that a unit rate, how can I make it? That's supposed to be gallons. I can force anything to be a unit rate just by dividing by the denominator. So if I divide by 3 over 3, this is going to be 1 gallon, and that's the unit rate. Up here, 3 goes into 5, that'd be 1 time. Let's just come over here and go 3 into 59. 3, 29. 3 goes into 29, that'd be 8 times. Nope, 9 times. 9 be 27 with 2 left over. So that'd be 19 2/3 miles on 1 gallon of gas. So this is our unit rate, but when they tell us just to simplify it, we're going to take out whatever is in common between both of them. So I'll see you with the next one.